Alright, so I got another one here. By the way, happy Thanksgiving. Look at that, 26th of November. Um, some good food coming from the kitchen. Alright, so yeah, Amulet Bloom. It's historically been a really good matchup. Um, I had a choice there. I could have tried to play Lantern or Bell first. My opponent had to mull down to 6 in Scryed. So I go with the Inquisition first. I didn't. I figured, well, my opponent has, now has 6 cards in hand. If I can, that's fewer things to worry about. I was worried that my opponent had some sort of discard on their side. With 6 cards in hand, that's less likely that they would have 2 discard spells in hand than with 7 cards. So I was like, okay, in case it was Jund or something like that. And so I figured that my opponent is not going to be able to discard my, my lock, basically, these 3 cards right here. So I go for the Inquisition to try to, cripple them. And turns out it was, a good move because I end up, and it turns out that I'm playing against Titan. So I grab the Amulet, of course. And notice my opponent did not have green mana. And yeah, I get the lockdown. Opponent realizes he is not going to draw green mana and concedes. So yeah, actually, more than this happened in the game. I played a third land, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. Could have sworn I played a third land, but the replay is not showing it. But yeah, so game 2. Sideboarding against Bloom is kind of confusing sometimes. Sometimes they run some weird stuff like Engineered Explosives or Leyline of Sanctity, some number of what's that? Nature's Claims or Seal of Primordiums or something like that. So I didn't really I didn't side much. I sided in a Seal of Primordium and an Ancient Grudge, and that's pretty much it. And I took out 2 Codex Shredders, if I remember correctly. So I like the hand because of that Thoughtseize there. That's going to help a lot. And I feel like I have decent mana, and I got Pitting Needle to shut off any like hasty shenanigans or stuff like that. And I got half the lock. Draw that Grudge. Woo. So I grabbed the Summer Bloom to make sure my opponent can't, combo away. I know this Stirrings is the only hope before I get a lock to try to get something going. Yeah, opponent grabbed the Amulet for double Amulet. I played that Shredder because I knew my opponent had the Serum Visions. And I wanted to make sure my opponent wasn't going to be able to scry some craziness, Now, I don't play out the Opal yet because I want to be able to sequence it so that I can play Ensnaring Grids next turn. Unfortunately, opponent has Engineered Explosives. Fortunately, it also takes out all of his Amulets. I'm guessing at this point that my opponent is going to try to just naturally play a Titan and keep me off a bridge. That Surgical is amazing here. I was tempted to Surgical the Amulets, but really the Amulets don't matter if I, lay a bridge. I did Thoughtseize. I saw 2 Titans and a Hive Mind in hand, so I took the Hive Mind. I wasn't worried about Titan. Because there's one in the graveyard and I can Surgical them, which I do. So now my opponent's only hope of winning is to attack with a Souza or the plant token or draw the 1 Hive Mind. Now I have the lock, so drawing the Hive Mind's not going to happen unless some weird things go on. Opponent does extremely good work sequencing here to swing for 5 with that Asuza. But, you and I know, because of what I have in my hand and what I'm drawing, that it is not going to matter. I got a bridge. Opponent's trying to keep me off of that Academy of Ruins, because I got a whole lot of good stuff in my graveyard that I want to get. And it makes me shuffle away with Ghost Quarter. Fortunately, that actually kind of helps me, because it ramps me into yet another mana so I can play Gold Color's Bell now. And I got ruins on top again anyways. So here comes another 3 damage. And I mill out because I don't want to draw that. I'll get stuck with it in my hand and my opponent will be able to attack again. And again, I wait until begin combat phase to Ancient Grudge. And yeah, that's game. Because now my opponent is not going to, get anything going. I got a full, really good lock. I'm about to draw ruins, and my opponent's drawing nothing but blanks from here on out. So, yet another relatively easy game against Bloom Titan. Not so broken anymore. Thanks for watching.